So I just got back from the Apple Store and I'm going to unbox the new iPhone 7 that just came out today. There's a lot of cool things and cool features on this that are different from the 6S. Most of them are subtle, but let's get right into it and get into those features. So let's open up the box. The one thing I'd like to mention is I had to open up the phone quickly to put in the SIM card, but they had this very needed, very nice wrapping job that they have for the plastic around this. So to actually get into it, before you had to find a little knife or find a coin to rip into the plastic because it's all shrink wrap. Now they have a very convenient tab that you actually just pull from the back and it comes right off. So that was a very nice improvement, even though it has nothing to do with the phone. It's worth mentioning for a packaging design. And the box makes a really funny sound if you just let it go. And one of the first things you'll notice right away is the actual box itself. They have it so you don't see the phone right away. It's actually the instructions, which I do find a little odd that they would choose to not put the instructions behind the phone, but that's okay. And we have the phone here, so I already unwrapped it, got it set up so it's easy to go in this video. And we'll get into the differences. First thing is the 6S, which is this phone here. Almost identical, so at first glances you don't really notice much of the differences besides the headphone jack, but there is definitely differences. So one of the first things that I noticed with the new iPhone is you have here the handy dandy home button is definitely different. So because of the water sealing and now that it's water resistant in the phone, they made it so this button is actually built in. If you look very closely, it doesn't look like it's cut out at all, where on the 6S it is. So when you press it, if you ever felt force touch on a 6S phone, it feels exactly like that. You get the force touch, your passcode comes up. It's as simple as that. So you just press it there. Pretty nice, pretty easy feature. It was weird to get used to at first, but when setting up the phone, you actually get to pick the sensitivity of that feeling. So anytime you have that little buzz when there's not really a button, that's called haptic feedback. So you can actually pick the level of haptic feedback on that button. The other more obvious thing that most people already know about is there is no headphone jack. So with no headphone jack, at first people would probably freak out and be like, oh my goodness, why is there no headphone jack? How am I going to plug in my headphones? Even though they want you to buy the new Earpods that are coming out very shortly, that are all Bluetooth, they are nice enough to give you a lightning to 3.5 jack adapter for your headphones. So no matter what headphones you've been using for your previous iPhones, you still can actually use them. They really didn't highlight that at all. I think they did that on purpose during the keynote. So all those people freaking out and being like, oh, I don't want to buy new headphones. Well, now you don't have to. They actually give you the adapter, and that's at no extra cost thanks to Apple actually including that. So I feel Apple is including this because they know there are going to be people who freak out and say, well, I'm not buying the phone because it's only Bluetooth headphones, and I'm not paying $300 for Bluetooth headphones. Also, I know the famous comeback is going to be, well, how do I charge it and listen to music at the same time? I would be amazed if someone does not come up with an adapter that goes into your lightning port and allows you to charge it at the same time while having your headphones plugged in. But to give Apple credit, Bluetooth is probably the future. Think of back in the day, we could not walk around with our phone. We had to be plugged into the wall and literally hang out in the kitchen, kind of sprawled out on a chair because we could not actually move away from the phone. So to think that the phone itself has been wireless for who knows how long now, ever since cell phones were created, why should the headphones be wired to it? It just doesn't make sense to me. And also to mention, you can literally drop this in a toilet. I'm not going to test it, but it's supposed to be water resistant enough that if you're dropping it in a toilet and take it out, it is actually going to survive. So that takes a huge worry out. That's definitely a problem, especially for girls. I always hear girls dropping phones in the toilet, and I've always wondered, how do they drop phones in the toilet all the time? I hear it literally probably at least once every 2 weeks. The reality is most girls' pants don't have pockets, guys do. That's why so many phones end up in the toilets for a girl, because they're always looking for a shelf to put it on. I've even walked into public washrooms where I've seen iPhones literally sitting on a little counter or a shelf for no other reason, but they had no pockets, they put it there and they forgot it. For girls, I think it's going to be very important that you can drop this in a toilet and feel okay about it. But still try not to drop it in the toilet. This one is the black color, not the jet black. The jet black, for lack of a better way to describe it, is just really glossy. At first I really was all about the jet black. Seeing it in person today, in all honesty, I feel this black will wear a lot better. The jet black, you can just tell it's going to scratch up so easily, and before you know it, it's going to look really junky. So I highly recommend just go for the normal black, unless if you're really set on the jet black. The back of the phone, though I have a case on this one, not a case on the other, what you will be able to see right away is the actual difference in the lenses. So the lenses itself, you can tell right away. It's a bigger lens for sure on the 7. It is a better camera altogether. So feel free to leave a like, comment, subscribe to my channel. I will definitely do whatever you guys want. So if there's a product that you want to see or have me review or just any questions you have, feel free to leave them in the comments. And that's pretty much it. So not crazy amount of differences from the 6S and the 7. So if you have a 6S, I probably would not upgrade to the 7. But any previous generations of iPhones, it is definitely worth the upgrade.